like this. This was in a church, oh. And then, long story short, that was how I sat there till it was end of service. Now, usually before end of service is when pastor will say, are there first timers in our midst? And the guy stood up. There was a first timer. And in our usual manner, we welcome our first timers with a handshake. So those around them, seated around them, would welcome them. So I turned to him and I said, you're welcome. And he said, thank you. He sounded so nice. And Denise, in my head, I'm like, what have I done? Why in the world's name did I first think of this guy as a kidnapper or a criminal? What was it about him that made me feel like this guy was dangerous? And the fact that my baby was close to him, my heart was not at peace one bit. It was his appearance. See, I kid you not. I'm sure if you were in my position and you saw what I saw, and the fact that it was the first time I was seeing him in my church, he was not a familiar face, maybe you would have thought more than what I thought. But this was me. Now, I don't know the guy. In fact, after that day, I don't think he has attended service again. Or maybe, I know I'd meet service days twice, because first I wasn't feeling well, then my baby wasn't feeling well, so we didn't go to church for 2 Sundays. Who knows if he came on those Sundays, but he didn't go to church. But what am I trying to say? I'm trying to drive home the point that because of how this guy appeared physically, his looks, it already sent a message to my brain that this guy is possibly a criminal, and I wasn't comfortable with what the message was to my brain, hence I acted. And for all I know, I was so wrong. And that is why I'm asking, have you ever been guilty of judging a situation or a person wrongly? You see, underestimating, overestimating the deeds and characters of the person. And most times, things are not always as they seem. But it would require some level of patience. Now, I could have decided that, you know what? I'm not going to stay in this church 1 second more. And once I'm done, I get my baby and I'm leaving. I don't want to hear stories that touch. But at the same time, I chose to sit beside him and wait. And whatever was going to pan out, I don't know. But how many of us will be that patient? How many times have you denied someone something because you felt that the person didn't look like who deserved it? How many times have we thought someone was so rich because of how the person appeared, and we started envying the person, not realizing that we were doing a lot better than this person? Oh my God. Yes! How many times have we been guilty of that? How many times have we looked down on somebody and felt like, Omo, please shift. What do you have to say? Keep quiet, my friend. You this small boy. You this small girl. Only to realize that the person is even older than your mother or older than your father. Have you seen the way some human beings look? You look at them and you say, okay, come here. I say, don't address me as a girl. I'm not a girl. I'm an adult. I'm like a full-grown adult. I've been married for how many years with 20 children? And you're like, you see? How many times did we look down on someone? In short, I had been at a supermarket and somebody said, how much is that thing? And I'm like, wow, do I look like a supermarket attendant? And I said, I don't work here. I've had that experience several times. I'm sure in your head you're thinking, how must I have appeared for someone to have asked me that kind of question? I don't know, but I was well dressed, to be honest. But just maybe, I don't know, I looked like. How many times have we looked down on someone not knowing that they were so rich? And we looked down on them and until, before you know it, their Lamborghini showed up. And we just realized that, oh my God, hey, what have I done? How many times have we judged situations wrongly and then lost an opportunity? How many times have we thought that all the messages we were seeing were scams when some of them were actually genuine? Let's talk. How many times, or have you ever been guilty of judging a situation or a person wrongly? 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. Join the conversation on Twitter. Twitter handle is at NigeriaInfoPH and Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. A call screener is on standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. Do be audible and ensure to turn down the volume of your radio set. I like to encourage people that have never been a part of the conversation on Nigeria Info before. Yes, I understand that you love to listen. However, you too can be a part of the conversation. Have your voice heard on the subject matter. We'll love it and we'll appreciate it. Once again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0007. We also have 0817 923 0003. We have Bassi from Port Harcourt. Hello, Bassi. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay, Dennis, this is a very interesting topic you have here. You know, this thing happened to me when I was in university. There was this guy, corporately dressed. You would never ever think he would have such an ulterior motive. He said he wanted to take you on a date. We should go somewhere and eat. I judged him to be a responsible person. My sister, on our very first date, I said, okay, I wanted to ease myself. I went to the restroom to ease myself. Lo and behold, see this guy here. He nearly raped me in the eatery. I was so shocked. I had pimples everywhere.
Whoa.
Thank God for my kind of person. I was so struggled, and it ended up a whole messed up day. I thank God he didn't succeed. I learned my lesson that I shouldn't ever judge people by their appearance. Even though they look so corporately dressed, speak good English, and they look good. You shouldn't even judge them rightly. Honestly. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. No, that was a lot. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God you can tell the story today and it didn't happen any other way. Anyway, we're live on Facebook, 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm so sorry, I'm down with the flu, so occasionally I may have to turn off the mic to express myself. Welcome back. Judging a book by its cover is the conversation. Have you ever been guilty of judging a situation or person wrongly? Have you been the one to be judged wrongly? Have you been one that, you know what, your appearance or something, you were judged, like me now that was referred to as a supermarket attendant, you know, I don't know what made the person feel I was. And, you know, sometimes I feel the need to play along to see how we really treat people who we feel are lesser than us. But let's hear from Chukuma from Port Harcourt. Hi, Chukuma. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Yeah, Didi, yeah. The conversation is quite interesting one. Trying to judge people maybe from appearance, and sometimes you do it wrongly. So I had a manager then in one company, and she usually come around Port Harcourt, come and check the company products where they are being sold, and they are quite pricey, I must tell you. So it's actually for the high class. So when she came to check out, what she usually do is to first of all go into where those things are sold and pose as a buyer and see if they will offer the products to her, because there are so many other brands. So she will make a demand that will make them to start looking for brands that are similar to that one we had. So the very first place we went, the person couldn't mention our own brand. We were just mentioning other ones to her. So she was expecting, she was still saying, are you sure this one will, is there no other better, is there no better one? The person was still insisting, was not still giving her that very expensive one. So she now came out, called me, we now came in. So we now began to ask her. So ask the person that was offering all this. And she really wanted to find out, why didn't you give it to me? Just tell me, just be honest with me. We are here for market research. He said, honestly, I thought you wouldn't be able to buy.
Oh, my God.
That's why I didn't give it to you. And this lady can buy that cartons.
Oh, my
Not
God.
even one. She can buy up to 100 pieces of it. But this lady, the seller could not offer her to buy just one. But she can buy up to 100. So that is just it. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Gideon from Port Harcourt, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gideon. How do you do?
Thank you. For my own, the experience is so much because I believe most of the time is the way I am here, and I do love that.
Okay.
I actually don't really remember somebody that I looked down on board. For my own case, it's too many. In fact, the one one popular shopping mall around that GRA there, it was even the security, a lady. Immediately I enter to get something. She gave me money to buy her a book. I was like, when she called me, I just stopped me because she didn't know me. I didn't know her. Maybe she thought I'm working there, maybe the way I came.
Wow.
I was like, take this money and buy me Coke. I didn't know what to at that point. I just paused. I said, okay, I'm coming. So I went in and then did what I wanted to take. My way coming back, I met her and I was like, you asked me to buy you a Coke. Well, let me have the money and buy you the Coke. She said, I'm sorry. So I walk out because then she knew. But there are so many ones.
Wait, hold on. Wait, was she thinking you were a security guy or a boy or what was she thinking?
Yes, it's like maybe like a cleaner or one of those workers.
So even if you were a cleaner or something, isn't it best she goes to get the Coke herself?
So it was funny actually. But for me, I felt embarrassed initially, but I later realized that it's just a fun for me. Then the other one during my school days. So I was doing security while in school then.
Okay.
So the people that I'm working there, they didn't actually know that I'm schooling.
Okay.
Because I was just looking at something that I would do and support myself at that initial stage.
Okay.
So that was during my third year. The person that I work with, he had to slap me. There was a day he slapped me because we were 4 there working there. So one day something happened. It was just something small thing like that. He slapped me, but to me, I was taking it as a fun. So after that day, 2 days before I told him that I want to resign. He said, why? I said, I want to go for my teaching practice. I want to go for my IT. Was like, IT for what? And I mentioned, he said, were you in school or are you a student? I said, yes. He said, which school I mentioned, the level I mentioned. he was begging me. He said, whether what happened 2 days ago, make me. I say no, that I will not be able to be doing the work and also go for my degree. He has to offer me that even if I will not be available, go for my training, that I should continue working. I say no, that I complete my mission. So things like that, sometimes people don't know. They judge books by the cover. It's not something that somebody needs to have such experience, make it. Thank you.
Wow. It could be a person. It could be situations. You know that thing they say on social media when they want to post a meme and they say, this is exactly how women jump to conclusions. You know how somebody says, I can explain. And you're like, explain what? Isn't that what I'm saying here before me? Say, but I can explain. And you did not give the person a chance to explain. Sometimes we wouldn't blame you because what you saw sent a different message. So any person who saw that, I thought same way. I think it was resting or something out. The lady was having a surprise for her husband. And she told around the venue, go event banner. Which case was a guy. So they had friends the venue for the hotel at the way. So they would meet there and they would do the plot, show high pole and all. They go and see the fit and deck and everything. And all the husband said, oh, yeah, fit me. So I for the woman. So why you know me? Oh God, what I do for? What I do? Big time you hear big time. Like big, they are big beans. But big time, God, I pay all. Oh my God, I'm finished. And after girl, with such his wife say, the way big is always, you know. So that in that's what the fun. It's emotion. Because that he was emotional. And to the what they did. I was not. And it felt like he was tried for eating off. He called her. He did not die. Now, I took curiosity to back him, and I think on the day the event was supposed to happen, he said he was following. She had met the event again, and she was all nice and fancy and all of that. And they went there. Some guests that had arrived, you know, they were thinking of how to bring him to the venue for the birthday. But some guests were already there. And he followed and followed and followed. And then he got there, walked in, and he started screaming, so how could you do this to me after all I did to you? And everybody shouted, surprise! And people he knew, and his wife, and he was like, how? And then, so we're playing this. In fact, we planned that. And then she said, so do you think that I would cheat on you? And he was like, but you always come here and say, yes, because I was planning this. It's a surprise. You don't have to know. It's a surprise. And then in his mind, he could not bring himself to the realization that he did messed up to not trust his wife first. Because it would take you not trusting your wife to start following her up and down to confirm your suspicion. You could have easily confronted her in the first place. That mess up number one. Mess up number two. You don't even cheat. Because cheat. All she was like, how do you have to give yourself for what you have done? That's a clear case of judging a situation wrongly. It could be anything. I'm just saying. It could be a person. It could be a situation. But how many times have you been guilty? Or have you ever been guilty of judging a situation or person wrongly? 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003 0817 923 0007. Once again, the WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. On Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, and Facebook page remains Nigeria Info 90.3 PH. Watch us live and drop your comments in the comment section. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, then you should call. Akekwa Lebari says first impression matters a lot, but sometimes isn't it possible that first impression is wrong? If you see me the way I was struggling to go and buy akara this morning, I went back to slippers, so I was not wearing, for those of you watching me live, I was not wearing this beautiful weave or wig I'm wearing. No! When I was going to buy a car this morning, I wore battery slippers. Hey. You would have seen me and say, this one is an executive ass game. Maybe our mother don't send that to go buy a car. I went to my Akara woman's place. She did the Akara for me. I carried it. In short, I was even chewing Akara bread. I was shocked. So you may have walked in that at that point and there's a thing you guys. Send me on there. I will just even say you can. I'll collect the market. I don't have some market. Yes. We don't have that this is the info. Just say no. Have you seen me in the market? You see this Rumokoro market? Some days I go there, I'm looking at what I don't know because I know I'm going to fight with all the traders there. Because I must buy something and come back. Would you see me? Oh, I know how many times people have addressed me as girl. And I had to, I'm not a girl. Address me properly. I'm a lady. Lady, girl. Maybe because I look like a girl at that time. I'm just saying. Bright is calling from Port Harcourt. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay. I had that kind of experience judging a book by its cover. I had this PhD student while I was in school who was known to be very close to lecturers, close to school management. He was close to everybody. He was in the religious side. He was in the political side. He was just everywhere. And this guy talks like fire. He talks so much, and so he came. There was something where they had schools abroad. So somehow he had the connect, and then he got myself and my brother. He told us we were interested. All we needed to do was he was not asking for money, but because somehow I just felt that anybody that talks too much is from a particular tribe in Nigeria, must certainly be a 419 guy. Even though he's not asking for money now, he will certainly ask for money. So long story short, the guy was real. Whatever he was trying to share to us was real. People actually left the country and furthered their education abroad because of that. And I'm still regretting that till now.
Oh my God.
Somehow, I just did not trust this guy. And he has never done anything to me. He has not stolen my money before. They've not rejected it for anything bad before. But somehow, I was just not comfortable with someone that talks too much and is everywhere and is doing everything and is sponsoring himself. But I don't know how I came up with that kind of mindset. That's on the side of judging somebody else. I've also had situations where I am judged, and I know that I'm sincere. I'm not like that, but maybe because they said, okay, the family is like that. Okay, we have someone in that family that is like that. So they just believe that everybody that comes from there is like that. What they want.
Hi. Try.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anonymous from UFA, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to share an experience, true life experience.
Go ahead.
When I was a younger girl, a guy stood in my life for 3 years. He's so handsome, but I was very, very shaky, fearful, untrusting. So I wouldn't accept his hand in marriage. And just then, somebody came in from where I worship. And I decided to marry that one. And I tell you, that marriage was hell.
Oh, my God.
That marriage was hell. At the time, the first guy came back again. I'm going to marry you, she loves you, heart. I don't love any woman, even a woman I've married where I love you. Can you marry you? And I looked at it, I said, no. You're already married. Coming in there, I will be coming to hurt the other woman. And
very
so I stayed away, I backed out. I lost my original marriage, and I'm single today. Still, the man is still loving, but I'm running away because I don't want to hurt another woman. So when we judge a book by the cover, by the way we feel, I heard you say you are looking at that man by your daughter. He was looking like an agbero, a kidnapper and something. Each time I look at this man, I was like, I don't want to go and fight because of women. This one is a Casanova.
Oh, my God.
This one is a Casanova. And for that, I just shied away not marrying him. And today,
Oh, Anonymous, I understand. I completely understand. Yeah, so when my husband initially approached me, I nearly turned him down because to my natural eyes, he didn't look like what I thought I'll end up with. That would have been my worst mistake in life. We had met before as kids, so my brain was still stuck on that picture of him as a boy. And in my mind, he was too quiet and didn't go to the right church. Then the son of the devil was dispatched into my life. That one went to the right church, Jim Pentecostal, said the right things, but my spirit and instinct screamed, no. So I said no to him. This guy carried my name and picture from Facebook to his pastor to turn my heart from my now husband to love him. When his pastor says we don't do or encourage witchcraft in our church, he went to juju. I don't know what happened, whether the juju priest deceived him or it backfired, but I suddenly hated him with a passion that shocked me, and I didn't know why till he called me and confessed what he did. I followed my instincts that prevailed over my strong head, fell deeply in love with my husband and married him. Due to the way I look and dress, the industry I'm in and my temperament, there were a few people that told my husband, you won't be able to cope. Oh. All your exes were not as educated, fine, exposed, or as loud as this one. Remember how they eventually behaved. This one that doesn't even go to church will do worse with open eye. Now they are like, it's like some of these women that you expect to be mad are the ones that stay one place. Or did you use juju to make her calm? Hey, whoa. Hey, whoa. Good afternoon, Didi. Yes, so I've been a victim and had judged someone wrongly. The truth is that judging people wrongly is part of humanity. This issue has put many in wrong relationships and even marriage. So many mothers have used this to disqualify a lady brought by their son for introduction. We need to amend our ways. Americana from Obakri. Good afternoon, Didi. I am Itiman by name. I'm an officer. Some days back, some policemen came to my compound to arrest a NEPA guy that was doing illegal connection of light. I was not in the house when it happened, but the whole people in the area plus other tenants in the compound carried the news that I was inside and refused to come out. I thank God that they were all outside gossiping me that I'm inside, and the keke man dropped me in their presence. They were all surprised. Hey, whoa. So wait now, as you were an officer, what will you do? If the guy did illegal connection, he did illegal connection. They should arrest him. Shebi now. Abi. So if you were there, what were you supposed to do? Because he was your neighbor. Or you leave him now. No worry, I go handle the matter. Well, it's like when they look at some people and they say, this one be like thief. Or they say things like, see your eye like thief. I mean, how does a thief look? Before the person was a thief, the person was a human being. Do you know if I'm a thief? See your eyes like murderer. You look like a murderer. How do murderers look? Hello? Is there a face to a murderer? What if I am one? They see your teeth like kidnapper. How do we come up with these judgments? Well, maybe once upon a time, someone who was like that was a bad person. Oh! I wouldn't even want to say what people said when I was getting married. That's a story for another day. But judging situations and people wrongly, sometimes you don't know them. And the fact that you can act and speak with so much authority on things that you are completely ignorant of. You see that one? That's another level of judgment altogether. That one beats my imagination. Because imagine that Sunday, I decided to go and walk up to security people and say, you get this person when sit down for somewhere, I suspect someone. It be like, say, imagine I had gone that far. Or imagine I had been so, I don't know, extra, and told the person to stand up and leave, that you don't look like someone that is befitting for this our church. You look criminal. Maybe, just maybe, that man came for salvation. But if you sit down and think, it's either you had been the one to judge, or someone else had judged you wrongly? How many times have you looked at someone that says, this person is so innocent, cannot hurt a fly, and they tell you that person that is so innocent and that person that cannot hurt a fly just murdered someone? Oh, it shock you. 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003 0817 923 0007 and 0817 923 0009. Once again, the WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. We're talking judging a book by its cover. Have you ever found yourself in a situation, or have you ever been guilty of judging a situation or a person wrongly? When you realized that you had done wrong, did you apologize? Did you go back to the person and say, please, when I first saw you, you looked like, and that was why I treated you the way I did. Please forgive me. It was not intentional. Eze Chimere Peter say, the title tells what's inside or its content. This one says your packaging defines who you are, either by appearance, conduct, presentation, behavior. For me, first contact with you will reveal who you are, no pretense. Are you sure that you can actually review a person from first contact? Because some of us will need second, third, and fourth impressions to decipher who a person really is. I mean, don't you think so? Hello, presenter. I'm an e-hailing part-time driver and still do my interior business on the side, which pays me well. I do cab services most times in a bid to meet new people, engage in conversations, and introduce my craft. Funny enough, most of my jobs are from most cab clients. One day I carried a pretty girl. One day I liked so much at first sight. At the close of business, I called her and introduced myself as the cab guy that dropped us somewhere earlier in the day. She asked why I called, and I tried to express how much I like her and possibly propose a date. She didn't even let me land and insulted me blue-black, as a real insult, and she blocked my line. 4 days later, I left out looking sharp as the Port Harcourt boy I am. Drove my Lexus ES 350 to where I dropped her off, asked around, and I found her. I didn't talk much, just told her I drove past her gate a few days back, and I liked what I saw. She smiled and pleaded she was very busy, gave me her number to chat her up. I used my other line to hit her up and pick up the kind of WhatsApp status they love to see. And put up the kind of WhatsApp status they love to see. Story short, 2 days later, she visited me in my house. And the rest is history. When she wanted to go back, I used my Bolt Corolla to drop her off. She still couldn't understand what was going on until I dropped her off. Tipped her good money, and before she stepped out of my car, I told her I was that Bolt guy. Didi, you need to see the surprise and shame from this girl's face. She couldn't even help it but cried and apologized. Honestly, I went that far to teach a lesson. I pray she learns better. Today I'm the one that blocked her because it's obvious that she's a street girl. Please don't judge me. I'm just an imperfect Port Harcourt boy. Franklin from Amadi Flat. Franklin, we'll come back to this your message. Let's hear from Francis from Transamadi. Hi Francis, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my own story goes this way. I once lived with a friend of mine in my house, okay? So, he's a very good guy. He helps me in many ways. And he's also an undergraduate with an Uniport. So, all my certificates are in one big envelope, both primary school to university, in one envelope, and my NYC certificate. Suddenly, I started looking for it. I searched my whole house. I couldn't find it. But that time, that my friend has left my house. He has rented an apartment somewhere. And he's the only one that I live with. I was really mad. I couldn't. What can I do without my certificate? And my mind started building scenarios that possibly this my friend took it as he doesn't have his own certificate. I doubted why he should take it anyway, but I didn't have any other thing to think about or another person to blame. I said it should be him. At a point, I convinced myself that it is him that took my certificate. I went to his house one day and I accused him of taking my certificate, that he's the one. There's no other person that could have taken my certificate. He denied that I put it on him. I had to ransack his house. I ransacked everywhere. I didn't see it. You know that one day I came home, I went to the same place I believe I put that envelope. I saw it, the envelope and everything was intact. And the way I hid it in that bag, it concealed itself. So I felt so guilty of accusing my very good friend of stealing my certificate. I had to go to his house. I knelt down. I begged him. Even as I was begging him, my mind was telling me that I'm not doing enough to make him feel good again. I kept apologizing. Even to today, I'm still apologizing to him of reading him wrongly.
Wow.
It was really bad.
Wow. But did he forgive you? Have you guys made up?
What we did here, we made up. We still relate. We are friends, okay? He forgave me. But inside me, I still feel that it was really strong for me to have gone that
far. What would he have possibly done with your certificate?
That's the thing, you know, when things like that, your mind will conjure scenarios.
All right, Francis, thank you so much for calling. Things they all call. Oh my goodness. See, I can think of 1,000,000 times. I'm not even kidding you. Is it a time when I had to discuss business with clients and I charged them for my services? And they said I didn't look like who had seen that kind of money before. I say, hey, we see, let me tell you this one. Now, this is a trade secret. I'm sorry I have to share this trade secret, yeah? I think sometimes the reason we suffer some of the things we suffer is because we have used judgment to distract us from seeing beyond the facade. I think girls fall into that trap where they see every car owner as a big boy. So if a guy comes to pick you up in a car and drop you off in a car, he's rich. And you begin to see him as a big boy. And even if the guy is not interested in you, you try to make the guy interested in you. You have a way of subtly toasting or chasing this guy. Are you aware that some guys used to borrow cars from their friends to come and show off? Are you aware? Are you aware that some guys borrow money to impress? They borrow clothes, they borrow money, they borrow cars. They come to you and they look as if they're big boys. Guess what? She buy like this. You know when they strike by telling you that, babe, can you just help me with 20,000 naira? I need to solve a problem. My bank is giving me small issue. And you're like, if this guy has money, what is 20,000? I'm sure that when he wants to give me back the money, he'll give me like 100,000. And they strike. Yes. So in the perception of people, anyone who owns a car or drives a car is a big person. Some people will not do business with you because you did not come for that meeting with a car. I'm not joking. I'm telling you from my experience. So when you are telling them, pay me 1 million, they're like, this one I use boat or what to come here. This one don't see money. Do you know how many rich people in Rivers State do not own cars? What? This is a classic example of judging somebody by. Do you know how many rich people still enter taxis? Do you know? Let me not even say some things I don't want to say. You see this period of subsidy removal. Do you know how many times I've had to enter public transport because it was a lot cheaper to enter 100 naira to that place than I just today now. You see that period we're on a break. I used my leg to walk to where I went to go and buy shaki, meat, ganga. I packed in the office and I trekked away. I went to slaughter to go and buy shaki and come back. Now, this is not in any way to say that there are people that are... Yeah, we don't have people who are fraudsters or who are claiming to be what... Even girls pretend. Let me tell the truth. Some of the girls you see that appear all flashy and rich. I'm sorry, ladies. I have to say this. I'm on the side of justice and truth. The hair they are wearing, they borrow. Not say I not tell you. Bone straights, fish bone, Cambodian, Peruvian, Malaysian, bouncy bounce, bam bounce. Some of them are borrowed. Some of the clothes they are wearing is borrowed. Say, girl, Afana, I get one date, I beg, now I beg. See that your gown, that gown don't set like this, I beg, now Afana, help my life, now my don't say, collect, it's they borrow, collect. Take it, don't worry, I'm gonna bring meat pie for you. And then you see them, they're all, even phones they borrow. What are you not saying? Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you and welcome. Oh dear. Alright, so thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. I think we all need to learn patience. You see that thing they say about patience being a virtue? Subject everything through the test of time. Time, they say, will tell. You cannot be impatient and expect to know the truth about certain things. Some things cannot be judged on face value. You know, it was Nollywood that opened some of our eyes to the fact that some men can actually pretend to be poor to get the girl of their dreams. They wanted a woman that would accept them for them and not for their money. Same thing to some ladies. They would want a man that would accept them for who they are, not because of their money. And I think that was one thing Nollywood got right. Portraying some happenings in the society, things like that. Some people have lost out on good opportunities because it spoke to the owner of the company like a small boy. If the person was a cleaner, how do you speak to people like that? Even if the person looks like a cleaner. I mean, don't you think cleaners are worthy of respect? And only after 5 minutes you realize that was the owner of the company you just spoke to like that. But because the man just walked in wearing jeans and shirt and one slippers like that, you just insulted the person. And tomorrow you're going to say it's your village people. Well, what do I know? I'm just a broadcast journalist. Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. Follow us. Facebook page, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On Telegram, Instagram and Threads at Nigeria Info FM _PH. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _Denise_Dennis. Denise is spelled D-E-N-I-S-E. Dennis is spelled D-E-N-N-I-S. Follow my Facebook page, Denise Dennis. Follow my Facebook account, Denise Dennis Wallet. Up next is Rivers Today, and thereafter Hard Facts with Kala Dakwaro Bat. But I had a great time with you on the sunny side today, and I look forward to sharing my tomorrow 12 noon to 3 p.m. with you. We are Nigeria Info. We talk for development. Stay tuned and do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Adios.